자, 챕터 1 셜록 홈즈 챕터 1 계속하도록 할게요. 야, 메인을 밀어볼까? 그 번외 사건 2개를 했었죠. 메인 말고. 여기 목매 달려 있는데. 에이, 방송이 제대로 되고 있는 거 맞아? 이거를 리프레시 해보고. 좋아. 리프레시를 해도 방송이 안전적이어서 다행이야. 자, 그러면 지도를 보고. 지도 뜨는데 오래 걸려? 이거를 좀 경찰서에 물어보고 가야겠다. 시체는 주머니를 채워주지 않습니다. 그거 큰일이네. 체포 방법 까먹은 것 같은데. 아무튼 방어구를 쓰면 되는 거 아니야?
Any progress with the case, Mr. Holmes?
이거는 안 되겠네. 나가자. 다시 사건집을 열어서 이거를 지금 고정하고, 그랜드 사라이에 있고 교회 근처에 있다. 다리와 언덕 위에 있는 교회 근처에 저택이 있다. 근데 지도에 다 어차피 다 나오는데. 이렇게 딱 나오잖아. 빠른 이동. 금방인걸? 이거 아니야? 이거네.
Hey, Sherry. There's post here. And it seems as if the letter was delivered recently.
셜록, 이 편지가 네 손에 들어가지 않았으면 좋겠구나. 이 편지를 읽고 있다면 그 말 같지도 않은 짓을 해버렸다는 뜻이니까. 과거는 과거일 뿐이다. 옛날 일을 더듬는데 시간과 기운을 쓰는 것은 좋게 말하면 어린애 같은 방종이고, 나쁘게 말하면 병적인 나약함일 뿐이야. 해결하게 말로는 아름답지 않아. 네가 뭐라고 주장하든 너는 보지 않는 편이 좋았다. 마이크로프트가 뭔가 숨기고 있는 게 아닐까? 아마 지금쯤이면 어머니의 마지막 안식처를 방문했겠지. 이걸로 네 성급한 충동이 충족되었을 거라 믿으며 당장 런던으로 돌아오길 바란다. 과거로부터는 등을 돌리고 미래를 믿는 것을 도울 시간이다. 영국은 네가 필요해.
After reading that, I am even less eager to return home than before. Let's investigate our manor.
That's the Mycroft I know.
이걸로 기억의 궁전이 해버렸지. 정말로 그렇다면은 내 상속 친구 존이 여기에 들어가 있다고? 그건 뭔가 이유가 있지 않을까?
There she is. Our old manor. It's smaller than I remember.
You were a couple of feet shorter back then, Sherry. Or maybe it's bigger on the inside.
Look at the ash all over the door. I don't recall hearing of a fire.
We don't have to stay here. We
나중에
can
불이
afford
나지
another night or
않았을까?
two at the hotel.
It's stuck.
Oh well, let's just head back. They probably haven't even stripped our room yet.
Come on.
돌아서
Must be
가야지.
locked.
Move aside. Let me have a go.
뭐? 네가?
Seems fine to me, Sherry. This barrier Perhaps it's mental, not physical.
Or perhaps the rest of us are simply constrained by reality, John. I wonder if there's a key secreted somewhere in the garden.
Take a look around, Sherlock. I'm sure you'll discover something.
집중을 할 시간이니까. 집중을 하려면 그 뭔가 공중에 뜬 원이 있어야 될 거 아니야. 이게 뭐야?
I did not expect these to still be here.
아,
It was enjoyable to practice using real handcuffs to make an arrest.
이런 걸 했다고? 어우, 좀 사이버하다.
Hey, that's Wooden Joe. He was always the best at playing criminals.
An irreplaceable tool for catching a thief. And this must be the reason our suspect was apprehended. Wood and glass, oh, very precious. Funny, Wooden Joe reminds me of the trouble we once got in with the police. Do you remember, John?
Somewhat. Maybe we can recall more details.
과거 회상. 경관에 대한 것을 모두 떠의역을 하고 했다. 일단은 열쇠부터 찾아보자. 계속해서. 아니 역시 그 떠올려 경관에 대한 일을 떠올려야 열쇠를 찾을 수 있는 걸까?
Why does this barn give me such an unpleasant feeling?
Oh, I know. It's because Mycroft used an axe to shoo you out of here. It scarred you for life, but I enjoyed it.
역시 그 떠올려 봐야겠네. 옛날 일을. 아까 집을 다시 열고 이렇게 하고 집중을 사용해야 돼. 경관이
The policeman brought us both home, John. That's why he was here.
I'm pretty sure he brought something else with him too. Do you remember what it was?
금속 반짝거린다.
I bet it was our reward.
No, we were not so lucky.
금속 작은 물건들 뾰족하다.
It was a set of lockpicks that we had used to sneak into someone's house. That's why we were arrested.
Did someone come out to investigate all the commotion?
성인 남성 가족의 일원.
It was Mycroft. He smoothed things over and convinced the policeman not to press charges.
나이
The
차가
officer
꽤
left
큰가
and
보네.
never returned. But we had to endure a serious talking to from my brother. Mycroft wasn't happy about the fact that we were arrested. It felt like he lectured us for hours.
Did we give him something afterwards, Sherry?
종이, 비밀, 임무.
Oh, yes. Yes, now I remember. It was a letter. That's why we snuck into the house. Mycroft asked us to. He wasn't angry we stole, but that we got caught.
Ah, that's right. It must have been only a couple of months after we moved to Cordona. Ugh, the good old days. Whoa.
How very odd. It appears that memory stood between me and the manor. It's as if my mind palace had seeped into the real world. This deserves further investigation.
이제 문이 열린다고?
Perhaps there's more to discover inside.
As long as there is a comfortable place to put my feet up, I'll be happy. Maybe a chaise longue.
Aha! In we go.
이게 뭘까?
Home sweet home, Sherry.
7월 20일 홈즈 가문의 물건들이 경매에 붙여졌어.
And I was wondering why it's so empty in here.
There may be a small chance that some of our property could be found among local traders' wares. It is worth a look, wouldn't you say?
이거 다시 채워넣으라고 가구를?
Hey, this is the luggage we brought from London, isn't it?
음, 1869년 4월 10일 시거 모럴랜드 홈즈 위망이 바이올렛 홈즈 씨는 4월 9일에 집에서 예상치 못한 죽음을 맞았다. 그녀는 20살 아들과 10살 아들 둘을 남기고 세상을 떠났으며 아들들이 스톤우즈 저택에 계속 머무를지는 불분명하다. 홈즈 부인이 저택을 매입한 지는 겨우 1년밖에 되지 않았다. 폐결핵을 앓아 건강이 좋지 않았음에도 불구하고 홈즈 부인은 코르도나 엘리트들의 환영을 받았다. 그녀는 높은 소명 의식을 가졌으며 재능 있는 여성의 깊은 직관력, 남성의 의기, 성자의 근면함, 그리고 풍자가의 해악을 지닌 사람이었다. 고대 유물 전문가였던 그녀는 지윤이 감정이 있어서 권위자가 되었다. 고대 유물과 관련이 있지 않을까?
Something did happen that day, but no one can tell us the details. How can that be?
Agreed. It's rather suspicious.
시가가 그대로 방치됐다고? 그럴 수가 있나? 책들도 가치 있는 물건들이었을 텐데 어차피 저택을 팔지 않았으니까 괜찮은 건가? 저택 자체는 안 팔고 진짜 쓸모없다고 생각하는 것만 팔았나 보네.
Another one. There must be something important behind it. I can feel it.
이것도 뭔가를 떠올려야지 문이 열리겠구나. 위층으로 가보자.
I remember how angry Mycroft was about these marks.
SJ
He called
셜록과
it a
존인가 보네.
frivolous, childish endeavor.
여기도 안 열리네. 나도 이렇게 큰 저택이 있으면 좋겠다. 여기에 뭔가 없을까?
This book, where I kept my collection of coins, it used to be bigger.
동생아, 게임하고 싶다고 했지. 네가 그토록 아끼는 종전 수집품을 잠시 빌렸다. 섬 곳곳에 눈에 띄지 않는 장소에 하나씩 숨겨두었어. 이 편지에 그려놓은 지호와 첨부한 기도가 눈에 띌 것이다. 너의 임무는 표시된 위치에서 똑같은 기호를 찾는 거다. 근처에 다다르면 동전을 찾는 데 도움이 될 힌트가 들어있는 금속관이 있을 거다. 몇 년 뒤에 올 거를 알고 이거 타임캡슐을 만들어놨네. 동전을 모두 되찾는다면 나에게 와서 무엇을 배웠는지 말해다오.
Oh, no. We won't let this stand, right, Sherry? I want to find my coins.
It's going to be difficult. The sands of time, you know? Some things may have changed, but you're right. We can't let Mycroft win.
기호를 찾을 것. 할 게 많네 진짜. 하지만은 더 이상 할 건 없는 것 같아. 2층은 다 받고 1층을 보자. 다시 1층에서 빼먹은 게 있나?
One of the first things I saw when entering this house as a child. It's like deja vu.
예? 이 저택에 와서 생긴 상상 친구야?
Mycroft's umbrella, the only outgoing thing in his wardrobe.
Another memory incoming, Sherry.
Strange. I struggle to recall anything about the day we moved in. The only detail I'm sure of is that it was raining early that morning.
좋아. 이게 아닌 것 같은데? 자, 이걸 조정하고 집중. 언제나 항상
There was always a hat on our stand, but I'm sure it did not belong to Mycroft.
누구의 것이지? 다른 남자가 있다고?
Our mother brought a slew of belongings with her. She refused to leave a single thing in London. Mycroft had to spend the whole day dealing with it.
여행은
This trip was a challenge for our mother.
이미 몸이
I tried to
불편했네.
help her.
Do you feel it? Is it the air shimmering, or is it my imagination?
요거를 일단 이건 마이크로프트가 아니잖아. 이건 하지만 이건 마이크로프트 왜 모자가 아닌걸? 왜 마이크로프트가 아닌데? 조니였겠지? 그래, 존이 있었을 거야. 모두 존이었다.
You're not even
아니야?
trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
첫 번째 해보자. 나는 어머니를 도와드리려고 했다. 우리 집에 자주 오는 사람이 있었다. 그렇구만. 이런 남자는 실제로 있었어. 이거는 마이크로프트가 있지. 그리고 분명히 나는 어머니를 도와드리려고 했다. 이제 맞을 거야.
Your neighbors will be told that Mrs. Holmes is suffering from tuberculosis. It is common to move
결핵이
closer to
아니었다고?
the sea in such cases.
Thank you, Dr. Richter. No, Sherlock, step away from her. Upstairs. Go to your room.
결핵이 있는 건 맞았던 것 같은데?
Take your time.
Actually, I never
아닌가?
heard her.
그러면 왜 가까이 가지 말라고
remember
했지? 결핵이 아니면? 의사인 오토 릭터.
Oh, I feel dizzy. It's stuffy in here, isn't it?
John, are you all right?
조니?
I'll be okay in a minute. How about we find our room in the meantime?
너 조니 실버핸드니? 어? 너 이 자식. 누가 나한테 레디그 꽂은 거야?
Let's do it, Sherlock.
뭘? 이게 뭐야? 이거 떨어졌네. 좋아, 그러면 침실을 찾아보자고 했다. 침실을 찾아보자고 했다. 침실은 위층에 있었던 것 같다. 아까 안 열릴 것 같은 문이 있었는데. 이게 아닌가? 요거는 그림이지? 아니 거울인가?
Another one. There must be something important behind it. I can feel it.
2층이 아닌가?
Another one. There must be something important behind it. I can feel it.
어디지? 여기?
Another one. There must be something important behind it. I can feel it.
침실을 찾아보자며. 침실은 위층에 있었어. 우리 침실. 그리고 문에 커튼이 쳐기도 하네. 이런 건 처음 보네. 열렸다.
Look at this. It's like traveling 10 years into the past with a single step. Oddly satisfying.
화학 실험을 했구만.
First chemical laboratory I ever made. I almost miss its elegant simplicity. Interesting. What's that over there?
열쇠? 열쇠네?
This doorknob has a cross-shaped end. Too intricate to be merely a handle.
You know what? That definitely looks like a key. Let's poke around and see if we can find any secrets.
로빈슨 크루소.
The only fiction book on my table. I can still hear my mother reading it to me.
뭐가 있을까 또?
So many pleasant evenings were spent here with the Encyclopedia Americana.
Coal dust from Miner's End, sandy dirt from the old city. We scoured the island top to bottom for these soil samples.
One of John's first pictures. I think this was supposed to be
존이
Mycroft.
그렸다고?
He really has improved his skills since then. One of John's first pictures. I think this was supposed to be Mycroft.
아유, 이거
He
대화를
really has improved his skills since then.
꺼낼 수 없나?
This brings back memories. We used this old diary to keep track of our adventures. I think it was my father's. John, do you think we can visit some of the places mentioned in the diary for old time's sake?
Why not? Nothing like a stroll down memory lane.
한 건이
Note down the
늘어가는구나.
places you'd like to visit, and I'll add what I remember of them.
I'll never forget how challenging it was to obtain this simple sketch. I'll never forget how challenging it was. Oh, these must be the notes of my earliest observations. We wanted to locate a particular dog we'd
마스커빌에게.
spotted, and we met it, didn't we?
This time I was first to pick beds. This one's mine now.
하지만 넌 상당 친구잖아. 넌 침대가 필요 없어.
Oh, it reminds me of our neighbour. He had the same balloon in his yard, only bigger.
열기구를 가진 이웃이라.
We visited him several times while living here.
봉.
Cannot believe all my toys are still here.
Hey, they were not just yours, they were half mine too.
An artifact from Palau carved out of bone and claimed to be 300 years old. My mother proved it was a fake.
무슨 벽이래
My
이렇게
very
골수도 안
favourite
보이지?
plaything. It was the perfect pirate treasure.
기억의 궁전이 반응하고 있어. 다정한 이웃. 해결학은 돌아가셨다. 해결액은 없었다. 관련이 없군. 그러면은 슬슬 이거를 할 때가 됐구나. 증거 고정을 하고 이거부터 해볼까? 이거는 존과 협력해야 되는 건가? 이게 뭐야?
Need to repeat this one day, but with bullets.
숨겨둔 물건이라. 근데 VR이 뭘지? 설마 가상현실은 아닐 테고.
A magnificent tool made for a spurious purpose, staring into the sky. I've definitely found a better use for it.
You mean for spying on people?
요거
First chemical laboratory I ever made.
이거는
I
아니네.
almost miss its
오른쪽 버튼
elegant
아니고
simplicity.
엔터 키도 아니고. 요거 같은데 아닌가? 숨겨둔 물건을 찾아봐라. 아니야. 왜 자꾸 기억의 궁전이 뚝뚝 뛰는 거야? 사라진 기록 이건 아니잖아. 다정한 이웃. 기록 이웃이 알고 있구나. 사건 지배. 가족의 친구. 테오도르 기에든이란 이상한 남자였다. 오른쪽 새끼손가락이 없었다. 일단 이걸로 관찰을 해야 돼.
Wasn't that neighbour missing a finger?
That does sound vaguely familiar. Wasn't his name, Theodore? Theodore Gilden, perhaps?
It's the perfect time to investigate.
알맞은 구멍.
Perfect match.
뭘까?
My small archive of crime clippings. Maybe I should pick up this habit again. Still has a faint odor of tobacco, one of the few things on this island that smell like home. Still has a faint odor of tobacco, one of the few things on this island that smell like home. Made of cherry wood, father's favorite.
시거 홈즈의 파이프. 아버지 이름은 시거 홈즈. 그걸 가져왔구나. 희미한 한 매향이 가져 있다.
I knew you'd find it in no time.
존의 수첩을 좀 볼까? 그러면 이제 할 거는 가족의 친구를 찾는 거네. 리스 다리 근처의 이웃집에 살고 있었다. 일단은 이 밖으로 나가서 이웃이라고 하니까 멀진 않겠지. 지금도 가스 여기가 있을 것 같진 않아. 그리스 다리라. 지도를 보면은 여기구나. 내가 방금 나왔던 데가 토누 저택이고. 그럼 여기인가? 여기겠지. 그러면 여기로 이거 찍어 놓고 이 집이 아닐까? 지금도 있네 여기구가. 어? 무슨
That
일이야?
wretch Goliath would murder us all. Mark my words.
오, 스웨덴인 모험가, 스웨덴인 가수, 포르도나인 가수, 모험가와 가수, 관광객. 이 사람은 왜 무슨 일이래? 어,
He was certainly under pressure.
골리앗이라고 쓰여 있는 데에서 여기에 뭔가를 묶어놨었나? 코끼리라도 묶어놨나? 피가 이어졌다는 거는 끌려왔을까? 아니면 뭐 고릴라 정도 되나? 이 끈은 뭘까? 발자국을 보면은 코끼리가 맞아. 코끼리라면 골디앗이라는 이름이 붙일만도 하지. 자, 여기서 그거 클릭할 수 있었는데.
A strong pull broke this leash. A pool of blood and saliva, possibly as a result of impact.
충돌이라. 깨끗한 세갈고리 훈련 장비.
Poke the elephant with this? Really? People are hopeless.
코끼리 양을 그냥 말해버리면 어떡해.
Sherlock, take a picture of the footprint. It's valuable evidence. This photograph can help us find the old article about the elephants. The front page was fascinating. It was hard to believe as a child.
뭔 일이 있길래 이렇게 먹을 게 잔뜩 있는데. 이쪽에는 단서가 없을까? 어쨌든 이제 시체를 보자.
Oof, contortionist you were not.
부러진 다리.
Kneecap reduced to splinters. Disjointed vertebrae. Difficult to say if it was a way to start or finish him off. A belt from a dressing gown. Curious.
실내복. 이게 왜 바깥에 있을까? 실내복을 입고 있지 않은데. 이거 핀포인트로 찍을 필요가 있어. 뭘 찍어야 되는 거지? 다른 각도에서 보고 싶은데 그럴 수가 없네. 아니 안 뜨네.
A missing pinky. Middle-aged. It's none other than Theodore Gilden.
Oh boy, Sherlock. Another death means another question.
And we shall answer the question. It's far too interesting to give it up to the police.
난 조사의 권한을 얻었구나 생각해보니까.
He was certainly under pressure.
보자. 일단은 10년 전 과학기자 신문기 그러면은 신문 사러 가야지. 신문사가 여기군. 잃어버린 기억에 새로운 위치가 생겼어? 잃어버린 기억이 자꾸 이게 뜨는데 변의 수첩이 있나? 기억의 궁전은 없고. 여러 가지가 있네 진짜. 잃어버린 기억이 여기에 있지 않나? 아무튼 간에 이 금태두른개 회장을 계속해보자. 고정하고 과학기자가 쓴 것 코끼리 10년 전. 일면이구나. (10년) 전이라서 네? 그럼 맞는데 1870년이면 기억을 빼자. 사람들 유명인사? 유명인사 아니야? 기자가 써가지고 오직 소수만이 이 행성에서 가장 강하고 가장 경이로운 이 친구를 보았노라 주장할 수 있다. 바로 코끼리다. 물건을 집을 수 있는 코와 함께 신기한 재주를 부리기도 한다. 애도 혹은 행복의 감정을 느낄 수 있다.
That's the article. Feeling old already?
코끼리의 생애에 대한 유용한 정보가 실려 있다. 그렇지. 일면 기자. 그냥 네? 왜 틀렸지 이번엔? 일면 기자. 맞는데? 다시 볼 순 없네. 여기 있네. 코끼리의 생애 감정이 아닐까 역시. 이게 끝났으면은 나가서 다시 거기로 돌아가야지.
Do you know anything about this?
I can't help you with that, sir.
이걸로 바꿀까?
Excuse me, just one question.
Excuse me? What? I'm not sure I know.
도움이 안
Everyone's
되는군.
looking at us, Sherry. You sure you know what you're doing?
Destruction and trampled ground.
또 깨진 화분이 있네. 안 열리네. 여기선 더 캐낼 게 없어 보이는데.
Hog heaven. A sailor's knife useful for cutting wet and thick ropes. A sailor's knife useful for cutting wet and thick ropes.
아직 못 본 게 있어.
It's seen a lot of use. The blade is worn from grinding. A coal gas tank. Enough to pump up an airship.
열기 이걸 띄는데 사용됐겠지. 동전에는 관심이 없네. 이거
Fresh signs of impact. A rough landing led to an altercation with this shed.
새로운 마인드 패스트 단서. 치명적인 구타. 선원의 칼. 이거는 상관이 없네. 이걸 존이 하네? 글쎄 이건 다리가 설명되지 않아. 그럴싸하군. 이건 아니야. 다른 누군가의 개입이 보인다면 보이기 때문에 이것을 선택할 이유가 있어. 발자국을 보면은 끌고 나갔다고 생각할 수 있지. 핏자국을 보면은. 문에 있다가 됐다? 그냥 뛰어나갔다? 그럴 수도 있겠는데? 근데 저기 부딪힌 게 설명이 안 돼. 입증하자.
You're not even
아니야?
trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
그냥 혼자서 나갔다. 이게 여전히 입증이 안 되는데. 이거 말고 다른 게 있을까? 그렇군. 아니 여기서 이걸 바꿔야지. 좋아, 이걸로 입증한다.
You're not even
아니야?
trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
아니, 끌고 나갈 이유가 없어. 아니야, 피는 저 안에서부터 이어져 있어. 끌고 나왔을 가능성이 가장 높은데. 그럼 혼자서 나갔다고? 이걸로 입증할 수 있을까?
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
글쎄. 기억의 궁전에서 뭐가 틀린 거지? 이 지휘봉은 여기 떨어져 있는 걸 보면은 이것도 맞을 수 있지. 이게 아니라고?
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
나가서 다시 한번 증거를 검토해보자. 신의 복의 허리띠를 찾았다. 대갈고리는 깨끗하다. 대문이 안쪽에서 바깥쪽으로 부서졌다. 결국 마지막에 우리가 때로 코끼리가 안에서 부수는 게 맞아. 시대목의 허리띠는 이해가 안 되는데, 그리고 다리의 훼손 역시. 다시 해보자. 이거는 역시 이거라고 생각하는데, 하지만 더 확실한 건 이거지. 가장 확실한 것부터 확정을 해놓고 가야 돼. 그리고 이걸 확정해 놓고 이렇게 해볼까?
You're not even
아니야.
trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
이거 나올 이유가 없어. 역시 이것도 아니야. 이건 완전히 틀렸어. 이게 맞다고 보는데
You're not even
이건 아니야.
trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
이거라고? 이건 아니. 이것도 맞을까? 이게
In a
맞죠?
fit of rage, the elephant broke the chain and
왜?
threw its victim on the ground with a fierce power. Escaping the scene, it pulled the body with it, but dropped it at the gate. At least some of this was witnessed by a third party who was hurled against the ship.
내가 생각한 거랑 완전 다르네.
The elephant can't have gone too far. I can still track it.
Well, suppose you find it. Then what? Push it all the way back to the manor?
망가진 엇간 법한장의 칼. 목격자는 칼에 떨어졌으며 헛간에 부딪혔을 때 상처를 입었을 수 있다. 일단 이걸로 이목을 끌었으니까 누군가가 목격자가 있을 것이야.
Can I ask you a question?
That's a question I can answer.
테오도르가 산책을 시켜줬던 숲으로 향했다. 산책도 시켜줬는데 갑자기 왜 테오도르를 공격했을까?
Excuse me, just one question.
Oh, sir, I'm afraid I don't know about that.
Help me, please.
I'm so sorry. I can't help you, sir.
This isn't working. You might need a different tack.
May I ask for your assistance?
Excuse me? What? I'm not sure I know.
아무튼 흔적이 숲으로 향한다. 숲이 어디인데? 여기? 하지만 발자국은 안 보이는데. 그리스 다리는 저쪽이잖아. 다시 보자. 테오도르가 다리를 지나서 산책을 시켜줬던 숲으로 향한다. 이쯤일 텐데.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Money can't answer your questions. Hey? Live with it.
아니 돈을 준다고.
May I ask you something?
I don't talk to strangers.
Everyone's looking at us, Sherry. You sure you know what you're doing?
숲이 여기인가? 여기 뭔가 있구만. 아니네. 반딧불 같은 거였네. 테오도르 길드니 여기에다가 그 명패를 세웠어. 여기 이 숲이 맞아 일단은. 이분은 상관이 없을 것 같아. 발자국이라도 보여야 되는 거 아니야? 길인데. 여기 통과하진 않았겠지. 이게 뭐야? 옷이 걸려 있는데? 통과시켜줘. 기름기 있는 물, 코끼리가 더 깊숙이 들어갔다. 이 실내복, 여기 허리띠야.
It was hung with care.
기묘한 사건이구만. 뭐 이렇게 이거 찍기 어렵게 만든 건 진짜 잘못한 것 같아. 여기 편지도 있잖아. 내가 보는 위치가 뭐 잘못된 건가? 이게 뭐야? 왜 안, 여기 밑에가 수상한데 왜 이게 안 돼? 아, WS 이동하.
The game has escaped us for now. We'll find a solution to the elephant problem later.
같은 섬의 주민으로서 이 편지를 쓰네. 나는 지금 자네 이웃들의 눈에게 나약하게 비치고 있네. 자네는 그 나무를 화해의 선물로 생각했지만 그들은 조롱이라고 여기고 있지. 사람들은 두려워하고 있어. 자네는 그 코끼리에게 적절한 훈련사 붙여주기를 거부한 채 본인의 한정된 지식만으로 가르치고 있어. 곤란해. 강제로 테일하트 씨에게 보낼까도 생각해봤어. 코로나 총적이 그 우려를 가지고 있네. 제대로 가르치지 못하는 것 같으니까. 나 물에 들어갔다고 이렇게 한 거야?
Can I ask you a question?
A man like you should not speak to a man like me.
되게 불편하구만. 그 나무 이 나무를 언급했는데 어디더라? 여기. 모닥불에서는 별로 있는 게 없어. 저기로는 갈 수가 없어. 아무튼 열쇠로 해보자. 코끼리가 남기고 간 흔적으로 보인다. 여기도 꽤 있구만. 여기도 구두가 있어. 여기에 다시 오게 될지도 모르겠네. 지금은 아무도 없으니까 소용이 없지. 저 위에 그 그리스 다리가 있어. 경찰이 와 있네. 당신 누구요? 요리사. 항아리에 진열해 놨고 있네.
Gosh, what a mansion.
You. Who are you?
My name is Sherlock Holmes. Theodore Gilden was...
Did you kill him? Did you kill the elephant?
It's not in the yard anymore. It escaped into the forest.
You can't let it go. What if it returns?
I highly doubt
집에
that,
들어가면
miss.
되지 뭐.
Imogen Gilden. Please, I beg of you. Find that dreadful beast
현장을
that killed
봤나?
my father.
I suppose we do need to learn what happened. Can you tell me what happened? From the very start.
I was here, so I didn't see how it began. My father visits the enclosure every morning to wake up Goliath. Today, I heard the elephant scream. I've never heard such a horrifying sound. My heart stopped.
왜
I
그렇게
knew
화가
something
났지?
was wrong. I looked through my window and saw how it lifted my father up by his neck. I rushed downstairs. I saw it dragging my father. as if
그래서
he
거기
were a
돌이
doll.
있었구나.
I threw stones at it. It dropped my father's body and charged outside, screaming. Its roar was almost human. I was frightened, so I ran inside and hid here.
That is a terrifying experience, Miss Gilden. I'm sorry you had to go through it.
Thank you. Goliath must be caught, Mr. Holmes.
Well, thank you for the information, Miss Gilden. I did have some questions for your father. Perhaps you might help me with them?
I wasn't privy to much of my father's life, and it's very hard to think of anything at all with Goliath still loose. Please, Mr. Holmes.
Very well. Do you mind if I ask you more questions if I find anything that might help?
Anything to catch that monster.
근데
Miss Gilden, I was on this island 10 years ago, and your father knew my mother. I believe I even had the opportunity to ride that balloon outside, but I do not recall seeing you.
I lived at my late mother's in Sheffield at the time. I'm in no spirit to reminisce right now. The elephant is out there.
You've never heard the name Violet Holmes before? Perhaps your father...
Please, Mr. Holmes.
Oh,
With that beast roaming free, I can't think of anything.
Very well.
증거.
Did you observe anyone else in the yard? Any of your servants, perhaps?
Servants? Do you imagine that we would have any with
그렇구나.
Goliath? No one wishes to work in this house, even for double pay. I didn't see anyone else. Only my father and that diabolical beast.
Had Goliath been aggressive before?
여전히 이상해.
It's
골리앗이 왜
dangerous, but he
그랬을까?
was never aggressive near my father. My
골리앗이
father
정말로
would do
공격한 게
anything for
맞을까?
Goliath. All the elephant had to do was clap its
그러니까.
ears.
You envied him, the elephant, I mean.
Our house is called the House of Ivory. I've heard some people refer to me as the Ivory Girl, and my room stinks of the animal, as if it's me who lives in a pen and not Goliath. It's not envy, Mr. Holmes. It's just incredibly difficult to live like this.
공격적인 적이 없었다. 이모젠의 진술은 더 들어봐야 돼. 여기서 얻을 게 없어야겠지? 하지만 있지? 잘못된 우상.
False idols? Oh, sounds utterly dreary.
모험집이네. 모험기. 모험 이야기.
The same dull poses on all romantic photographs. So idyllic. Enjoy your happily ever after before it stales.
아, 뭔데? 왜 안 읽어줘?
She packed as much as she could carry.
나갈 생각이었네.
Sherry, we need to talk.
사랑을 찾아 나갈 생각이었나?
You found false idols. We need to find the remaining two.
What does bazooka even mean? Would this paper be good for anything but blowing one's nose on?
They're not rubbish, Sherry. There's something more. I'm serious.
Very well. I doubt it'll be worth it, but I will find them for you, John.
You'll thank me later. They're some of the most imaginative books I've
언제
ever
읽었지?
read.
What did you say?
Speaking aloud helps me think.
보자. 이모젠의 사진. 이 승리는 오직 당신만을 위한 것입니다. 1879년 경주 결승전 1년 전이지? 어두운 폭풍 속에 있는 나의 등대를 위해 홀. 다시 한번 보자. 1869년. 지금 1880년이지. 1년 전이 맞아. 사랑의 도피. 좀 더 들어볼까? 없을 것 같아 근데.
Who's a cute bird?
코끼리를 진짜 좋아했나 보구만. 이런 거는 참 벽을 시리겠다. 저기 위에 이런 거 아무거나 태우면은 여기 천장에 이거 시꺼먼댕이가 묻을 거 아니야. 이거 뭘 태우는 거지?
Mother. It's nice to see her young and smiling. Mother. It's nice to see her young and smiling. From before Mycroft was born, our family loves to prod at the past.
Holmes's desire to rake up the
테오,
past is
바이올렛,
hereditary.
시걸. 셋이서 탐험을 했었구나. 아이보리 베스. 상하 욕탕이라.
A catchy title.
거의 건설할 생각이었나? 티
A
길든.
partnership annulled with a single stroke of a pen. What's so special about this place? Another elephant? I should take a photograph of the plans. I don't want to carry them around.
뭔가 계획도 분명히 그 연못에서 만들 생각이었을지 몰라. 1875년 5년 됐네. 이 동물은 더 이상 광자들과 함께 텐트에 갇혀 지내지 않을 것입니다. 5년이나 같이 지냈고 공격성을 보이지 않았어. 그런데 그 테오도르를 공격하는 건 이상해. 코끼리가. 두 번째 자식. 이모젠 말고 다른 자식은 없는 모양이야. 부러워하지 마십시오. 두려워하지 말라고 해야 되지 않을까? 엘리트 이웃들은 이번 금식보다 짐승의 끔찍한 울부짖음을 들으며 충격에 빠져있다.
His second child? An apparent son and heir, I'd say.
향수, 코끼리.
Oh, the pungent stench of an animal.
코끼리가
Theodore
좋아하는
sent some
향인가봐.
pink elephants with this.
A relatively functional choice to replace the thing.
의지라고 해야 되나? 두 개나 더 있다고? 1868년.
I think Miss Gilden has barely matured.
표정은 별로 좋지 않은데. 이제 또 뭐가 있지? 의지. 또 핀포인트를 찍어야겠네. 시가도 아니고 책도 아니야? 뭐가 있지? 무슨 흔적이라도 있나? 이런 것 좀 제발. 아, 또 이동이 있구나. 인장이 아니야? 아, 이거네. 1877년.
I think they were closer than you and me, John.
I'm hurt.
좋아, 사건집에 뭔가 들어온 게 있을 거야. 스위프트라는 이름이 파트너로 기록되어 있었지만 줄을 그어 지웠다. 향수병 안에는 끔찍한 냄새가 난다. 다시 여기를 더 돌아봐야지. 여기엔 별거 없고.
Looks eccentric and smells eccentric.
창을 보면은 확실히 보이는군. 경찰이 와 있네. 여기 다른 건 없나? 있다.
Quite the spectrum, from the history of the Roman Empire to conspiracy theories of the French Revolution.
히터를 켜고 더 이상 볼 건 없어 보이는데 이제 그 스위프트라는 인간 그리고 폴에 대해서 이거 여기에 앉아서 그 사육장을 봤어. 세기 발행 가족 자주 사용함. 우리가 좀 보이는 전망.
Nicest spot in the room.
얼마나 코끼리가 좋았던 거야. 그렇기 때문에 코끼리를 의심하기 어려워.
Backside. What a wonderful life.
And, which part of the elephant is in here? It's quite pungent.
Oh, that. It's elephant sweat. Father believed that it might replace
코끼리
traditional
땀.
ambergris.
Well, that's true entrepreneur spirit.
땀이라서 다행이다.
A. Swift, is this name familiar to you? Your father had it removed from this plan.
Oh, that's Arthur
아사
Swift.
스위프트,
I've seen him a
올드
couple of
시티.
times here. He works with my father in the old city, digging up something ancient.
He is an archaeologist?
That's the word, yes. But to be truthful,
도굴꾼에
I really
가까운
don't think
건가?
Mr. Swift is fit to be one. I've just learnt a lot about archaeology
아하,
from my favourite book
바줄카.
series. Oh, they are page turners.
Inspirational, I'm sure, but would you happen to know where this Mr. Swift might be found?
I don't, but perhaps you can find out somewhere. My father's work with him is all official. Lots of boring legal
기록 보관소에서
papers,
찾을 수
signatures
있겠군.
and stuff.
이것도 혹시
How can you read something like this? It's hard to swallow, and that's not due to the hard cover.
You're hardly serious. Any library without Nabe and Laura is incomplete. If you can read, then these books are an absolute must. Love and adventure. They're about life.
Oh, I wasn't
모험을
aware that exploding pyramids were a part of daily life on Cordona.
You haven't seen life. So you
몰라.
might try
그래,
reading
너도
about it at least.
몰라서 그래. 피라미드가 폭발한대잖아.
These bags of yours, it looks as if you've packed your entire room. Were you planning on going somewhere?
My partner and I, we wanted a change. A fresh start abroad.
아,
But now I have to stay here. Here, an orphan.
아니 폴이 올 수도 있잖아.
I found this. Who's this young lad next to you, your faithful knight?
Paul. He's my pirate. He's not really a pirate. I'll just call him that. It probably sounds very silly.
아, 나는
Your
이해해.
secret is safe in my hands. Does Paul work somewhere? What is his surname?
His name is Paul Perks. He and his yacht Whirlpool are the
나라키아
champions
요트
of the
클럽.
Salacia Yacht Club.
이
He
코르도나에
sails
있나?
there. I'll show you where it is on the map if you need to meet him.
A yachting champion.
그런 거라면은 그 선원의
I prefer
칼과
dry
연관이 있을 수도 있네.
And so does my suit.
일단은 기록 보관소로 가보자. 진짜 이거 알찬데.
Oh, why do I get the worst jobs? Oh, why do I get the worst jobs?
He was certainly under pressure.
여기도 다 해놨네. 1번 이거 해놓고, 근데 그 이외에는 없네. 여기에는 증거 그거 없구만. 내가 증거를 빼돌려서. 아무튼 기록 보관소로.
He's... He's...
유지품 벽보에 얽힌 사정을 알아보십시오. 밥벌이 하려고. 아, 이거 해도 돼? 버려. 남겨. 넘겨. 아이. 다시. 떨어졌다가.
He's even been put...
유지품 벽보 작년에 터이었어. 유물 판매. 음악 선생님 밥벌이 하려고. 중앙 칼라디오. 음악 선생님과 중원에.
I think they're suspicious. Or they were checking you out.
다시.
He's even been putting up posters, poor man. Losing it may be the death of him.
작년에 터이었어. 런던에 간 적 있는 형제. 중앙 칼라디오. 최근 도난당한 바이올린 음악 선생님이었나?
He's even been...
이 지역의 한 음악 선생이 세인트 클레멘트 대성당 인근의 중앙 스칼라디오에 도난당한 자신의 바이올린에 대한 정보를 구하는 포스터를 게시했다. 중앙 스칼라디오 끈 이론이라. 여기가 거기야? 중앙 스칼라디오. 아무튼 하려던 거를 계속하자. 사건집을 열어서 보정. 아카이브로 가서 여긴가? 아니네. 여기가 아니야. 범죄랑은 상관이 없어. 문서 올드시티. 재산범죄? 재산범죄가 아니야. 증인 현관 피해자. 문서와 용구 증거인 건 맞아. 밀수? 재산범죄? 경범죄? 불평. 병역범죄 아니지. 다 아니네. 용의자, 증인, 피해자, 공관. 혹시나 도움을 받을 수 있을까?
Any progress with the case, Mr. Holmes?
안 되네. 그러면은 여기 말고 크로니클로 가보자. 크로니클이 여기지. 유명 인사. 최근으로 할까? 최근까지는 아니고 올해로 할까? 그냥 이렇게 하자 일단. 올드시티. 올드시티는 고정하고 올해로 바꿀까? 최근. 아니야. 공무원? 시대들 빼고 시대는 어차피 알 수가 없는 거니까 유명 인사 기사. 셀라키아 요트 클럽에 가볼까?
Extra! Suicide claims another. A young man has leapt to his end in broad daylight from the rolling bricks bridge.
Interested in some Cordona news?
구매.
Check the front page. You won't regret it.
어쨌든 홀을 찾아가 보자.
May I ask for your assistance?
Excuse me? What? I'm not sure I know.
유트클럽은 여기 있는데.
Excuse me, just one question.
That's a question I can answer.
아침부터 그려본 사람이 없다. 남쪽에 있는 그의 작업장이 있을지도 모른다. 유트클럽 남쪽이면 여기겠네. 여기구만. 그 사람은 아닌 것 같고.
Can I ask you a question?
I can't help you with that, sir.
여기 들어갈 수 있나? 이런 표시가 있는 데에서 뭔가 증거를 알아내야 되는 거구나. 사람이 없나? 이거 이렇게 있는 걸 보면은 여기서 체포를 해야 되는 거겠네. 어허. 월풀.
The champion's whirlpool. Pools bread and butter.
얘기가 안 되네. 얘가 맞는 것 같은데. 여기를 볼 수 있나? 여기를 볼 필요가 있나? 아, 월풀.
Bloodied bandages. Has someone been hurt?
Where would a champion hide a key?
챔피언 1877년부터 월풀이었네. 현관왕인가?
A foghorn to navigate and warn others at sea.
It should have a warning to cover your ears.
끔찍한 소리. 이게 아닐까?
Foghorn to navigate and warn others at sea.
이것 때문에 코끼리가 미쳤을지도 모르지.
We can become pirates and show them what should be stored in here.
이거밖에 없나 여기는? 이게 다 뭐였지? 퀸드 브렉퍼스트. 블렌드 티네. 차를 이렇게 잔뜩 보관해 놨구나. 여기엔 결국 이거 말고 없어. 백고도. 아, 얘기 좀 하자니까. 아, 너 존이 아니다. 존이었잖아. 폴이 아니었네. 열쇠를 구해야 되는데 어딘가 있을 것이야. 어? 아니네. 그 키를 보자. 여기에서 주변 분석. 컨셉을 다시 보자. 아, 이거를 고정해야 되는구나. 살짝 삐 떨어졌다. 최근에 움직였다. 아하, 열쇠를 여기다 뒀구나.
I hope Paul is more skilled at yachting than he is at hiding keys.
Too ordinary a room for a champion. There's no incentive to put in any effort.
A box full of darts.
다트.
Each has a needle and can be loaded with drugs.
약을 넣을 수 있다.
An expensive set of tools for woodwork. An amateur wouldn't know how to use these.
책.
Shipbuilding, shipwrights tricks, sail weaving.
다트가 2개 비어.
Bloodied bandages. To earn big, you have to spend big. An interesting place for a message to a champion. An interesting place for a message to a champion.
이런 거는 바로 읽을 수 있게 해줘야지.
Old betting slips. Paul always bets on Whirlpool. One victory after another.
이건 뭐야? 이 문에 쫄딱 젖은 멍청한 어분 아브랭이 같으니라고. 내 가족을 거머리처럼 빨아먹을 수 있을 것 같아? 내 돈 훔치고 내 딸을 착취해서? 오늘로 마지막이다. 네 경력은 이제 끝났어. 협조하지 않는다면 심해 속에 처박아 주겠다.
Mr. Gilden wasn't afraid to get his hands dirty. Additional earnings to sweeten the victory.
길드는 폴을 협박했다. 아트가 갖고 있었다. 넌 우리 거래에서 발 못 빼. 다가회했을 신선한 찻잎을 구해줘야겠어. 궁금한 게 생기거든. 우리 애들이 경주에서 널 지켜보고 있을 거야. 이 보트를 사용해서 약을 밀수했나? 이거를 증거 고정하고 그러면은 집중해서 뭔가를 알아낼 수 있을 거야. 차는 여기 잔뜩 있는데. 차통 얼룩지지 않았다.
Undeniably psychotropes.
마약.
Not for toothache, I think.
약으로 코끼리를 미치겠나?
Undeniably psychotropes. Not for toothache, I think. A typical tea tin. I wonder what he has for biscuits.
이거는 아직 못 찾았단 말이야. 이제 더 할 수 있는 게 없지.
Hands off my possessions before you lose your fingers.
맞구나.
Are you illiterate? The rules are written every...
Ah, Mr. Perks, the cabin boy himself.
Champion, you mean? I was right. You are illiterate. I think a couple of shiners might teach you. One last chance. Who are you?
I'm Sherlock Holmes, a friend of our mutual acquaintance, Miss Imogen.
Look, you artichoke. Imogen has no friends. Except for me.
이젠
If you
있어.
must try to insult people, it's better to know the meanings of the words that you're using.
You fancy you could teach a sailor to swear?
어.
Go ahead. Show me how inventive you are.
Stand still for a moment.
관찰한다. 뭐? 뭐라고? 응대들은 밟고 복은 타고. 목소리가 전혀 여자가 아니었는데. 발달한 여성 신체. 더 높은 사회적 지위를 얻기 위해 남성으로 변장한 여성이다. 밀수하고 있다는 사실을 숨긴다. 거친 인생을 사는 여자. 범죄 지하 세계와 관계가 있다. 정체를 풍요할 이유는 없다.
So, a woman wishes to become a real criminal, and smuggling is a stepping stone towards that? Is there not enough prestige in yachting? Or is it easier to compete with other fools like yourself? Everyone has a starting pistol, just shoot and run.
Don't say a word. I don't know where you're getting half of this
목소리가
nonsense.
바로
You're on
다르게
some thin
들리네.
ice here that I'm willing to crack.
여자 목소리 들리네 진짜.
I'm sick of...
오
Who's this
전투할
people?
차례인가 봐.
Does he know who I am?
I definitely know who you are not. You're not a dictionary reader, at least. I wanted to see how you... pals interact with each other in your natural habitat. But I'm afraid I have to interfere.
처음 해보는데 잘 될까?
I'm gonna hurt you. I'm coming.
아 잘못 눌렀어.
Coming. I couldn't miss the party. I'm coming for you. I couldn't miss the party. I will end you.
No more crime.
The snuff. Give him the pepper snuff.
체포하고 싶은데? 뭐야 하나 더 있어? 아.
You can overcome them.
아.
Don't.
아야야.
Snuff's ready. Time to knock this guy out.
Good day. Too simple.
아직도 남았어?
Give him the pepper snuff.
요요요요요.
I'm gonna hurt you.
Ow! Don't bother.
I'll put you 6 feet under.
You can overcome the brute now.
아유, 총도 잘 안 쏴지네. 아야, 아, 다시.
Get ready for some pain. I'm coming.
Too simple.
I thought we were against murder.
아야, 죽어.
Oh, you killed him. Time to knock this guy out. Overcome him. Don't run.
어?
I'm coming.
얘는 아야.
It's all yours now. Go for it.
I'm coming for you.
The snuff's ready.
Take a rest, my friend.
또 누가 있지?
Don't cry, you'll live.
아야, 아야, 아야.
I'm coming.
Give him the pepper snuff.
Not that easy. Eat lead.
Time to knock this guy out. I thought we were against
죽어.
murder. And there's no reward for risking our lives.
Paul's explanation will suffice.
폴 어디 있어? 여기 있나?
Your fellow mariners have a strange way of showing hospitality.
They were not my friends.
Are you sure? I would rather risk my neck for someone who's at least honest and thankful.
Perhaps then don't enter someone's life and be so judgmental, pretending you're better than they are.
Then give me your perspective and allow me to see through your eyes. What were you doing this morning, Miss Perks?
Don't call me that. I'm a champion. I was sailing.
The other club members told me that you missed the race this morning. Do champions not need to practice?
Ugh, you've talked with them already. No, I wasn't racing. I visited the doctor after an attack on me. And then I had to honor the deal with the bandits you just took care of.
I tried to tell you before, but your partners interrupted. Have you heard the news? Theodore Gilden is dead. Do you have anything to say?
Well, what a shock. To me, he was an angry old ogre. Good riddance. Was it Goliath that killed him? Did it crush him? Break his bones? Come on,
그걸
tell
어떻게
me.
알아?
I want all the details.
You have an
의심스럽군.
unusual way of showing grief. Imogen wouldn't appreciate that. But yes, the animal could have been involved.
It's poetic in a way, isn't it? It takes a beast to kill a monster. I wish I could have been that elephant.
You're asking for trouble with this smuggling business. You'd better leave it before they smuggle you out in a barrel.
Don't patronize me. I've only ever had trouble with law-abiding citizens like Gilden and you, never bandits. So ask me anything you want, and then get out of my sight.
이거.
You smuggle illicit psychotropes on your yacht. Not a delivery for the hospital, I'm sure.
Of course not. I've had to cut corners to earn some money. How might a person afford to pay for a yacht in an honest way? I don't know, although I'm smart. The buyers are my customers. Adults who are willing to pay for their pleasure, or weapons for jewels. Whatever they want me to deliver.
아니 경찰이 판단할 거예요 그건.
Well, it's your lucky day. I'm not here because of smuggling. Have you tasted this tea yourself?
I wouldn't have been a champion if I had used it. It's just a side business that keeps my career afloat. It's quite expensive to compete in yachting. Sometimes I cut corners.
Such as fixing whirlpool yourself?
Exactly. And sometimes I just have to pay. That's how I earn money. I don't sell slaves or take the last man gear from a poor family.
요거.
It seems as though Theodore Gilden hung a sword of Damocles over your life and career. Were these only words or something more serious?
Check my forearm. Pulled muscles and bruises. Small cuts. Nothing that you could call serious.
I doubt that a man in his late 50s could wrestle you.
It wasn't him. He behaved like a rat and hired brutes. His boys tried to lock my hands behind my back, but I was faster and I escaped.
Was he so protective of his daughter, or was it your feminine secret that provoked him?
My guess is that he was protecting his property. As he saw it, he owned Imogen, and he treated her like a piece of furniture. He didn't want his daughter to be loved by anyone. What's more painful is that Theodore didn't allow me to love
여성인 걸 알았어?
Typical.
I'm not sure that your relationship with Imogen could be described as typical.
Are you afraid of a woman in trousers? Now that's typical of men.
바지 입은 게 문제가 아니라
A charming picture. I've heard that champions do often pose with their trophies.
Cheeky. It is a lovely trophy, though. I'm sure you will agree.
What is it that you like most about her? Her naivety? Her father's money?
A somewhat difficult choice. Especially now that her father is out of the equation.
Imogen doesn't strike me as an industrious young lady, so I find it strange that she was busy packing up all her belongings when Mr. Gilden died. That's some favorable wind in your sails, isn't it?
Is it so suspicious that a couple might embark on a trip? I wanted to thank her, so we planned to go traveling. A Theodore-free place, without elephants.
The timing of it is suspicious, however. Your lady friend becomes an orphan and heir, and there's a planned trip directly afterwards.
An improvised romantic dinner will never please a spoiled girl. A planned voyage might. It's not spur of the moment.
다트 상자에 대해 물어볼까?
Look what I found. A box full of darts.
Hey, that's mine.
I confiscated it. These darts appear to be filled with something. Poison? How powerful is it?
It's strychnine. Enough to instantly kill a small rodent. I haven't tried it on a human. Yet. I hope you know what you're doing.
Could it immobilize a larger animal? Say, an elephant?
I've never tried. But I have wondered.
이거.
Does this knife seem familiar? I didn't find it in your competitor's back, to be clear.
This knife is as blunt as your humor. It's a bosun's knife, but it's not mine. I wouldn't be so careless.
분명히 아니라고 확답을 하네. 이렇게 된다면은 홀에 대한 의심은 많이 줄어드네.
I don't know what this means. I'm clueless.
A. Swift. Are you familiar with this name?
이걸
The
이쪽에서
gentleman had business with
알게
Mr.
되네.
Gilden.
Likely just another strange and wrinkled fellow like old Gilden was. Perhaps this Swift person has a rhino, and they wanted to see which pet was stronger. In other words, I don't know who he is.
모른다네.
But I bet he's crazy like Theodore.
I doubt that court owner has ever boasted a battle arena for that size of mammal. You have an interesting imagination.
아직도 물어볼 게 있어. 이거?
I don't know what you're suggesting.
What can you tell me about the elephant?
He's smarter than some people here, including his owner. Although I feel he could be dangerous, no matter how much he's fed.
아직도 그 시내복과 허리띠에 대해서는 이해가 안 되고 있어.
Well, not exactly. But I saw
나무.
it abusing some poor tree during one of its walks with Theodore. The expression on that old ninny's face was priceless. But it wasn't funny to look at.
그 나무는 뭘까?
It was frightening.
이거 아니야? 홀에게 새로 생긴 멍이 있다. 이것과 관계가 있을까? 관계가 없네. 홀은 지금이 코끼리 짝짓기 시기라고 말했다. 홀에 대해 그렇게 의심스럽진 않아. 지금 적어도 살인에 대해선. 이거를 찾아보고 싶은데 여기선 다 찾았어. 이거를 고정하는 게 낫겠어. 이거를 하지 않으면 소용이 없어. 파트너. 그러면은 다시 한번 크로니클에서 찾아보자. 크로니클이 어디에 있나? 어디에 있더라? 여기 있지? 직접 물어보자.
I'm watching you closely, Mr. Holmes.
일단은 구역은 올드시티야. 기사가 아닐까? 이게 아니라고? 이렇게 하면 어디 나와? 주문을 빼고 시대에서 유명 인사가 아니야? 공무원인가? 평민으로 해볼까? 공무원으로? 사람들을 빼자. 시대를 바꾸자. 여기가 아니면은 경찰로 가야 되나? 구역은 올드시티, 문서, 문서일 텐데 이게 아니라니. 재산범죄와 관련되어 있을 가능성이 높은데. 아, 모르겠네. 지금 화학 분석을 할 순 없지. 이게 뭐야? 잃어버린 기억, 이건 뭔지 모르겠단 말이야. 크로니클에서 하는 게 맞나? 안 되겠다. 이렇게 한다면은 먹힌다면 볼 수밖에 없잖아. 시티홀에 기록 보건소가 있다고? 그런 건 또 몰랐네. 그러니까 못 찾는 게 당연하지. 이게 시티홀이겠지. 여기 들어가본 적이 없으니.
Are you lost, sir?
Not at all. I'm right where I need to be. I'm Sherlock Holmes, by the way.
Ursula Oni, the chief archivist. How can I help you exactly?
I need to take a look at the history of Cordona and its islanders to retrieve some, hopefully, useful information.
Your brother Mycroft told me that you were direct. And
얘기
now that
미리
we've met,
해놨네. 내가 올 거라고 생각하고.
Someone in our family has to balance the evasive nature of my brother. Well, may I use the city archives?
You may, of course. But in return, perhaps dinner?
That's a high price to pay looking at your archives.
I was teasing you. Pay no attention to me.
그러면은
I'm curious, how did Mycroft recruit you? I doubt you're a field agent. I imagine you work with intelligence.
That's correct. Your brother noticed me when I tracked down a spy at the archives. That's how our cooperation began. And you? Did Mycroft force you into this?
Not at all. We simply have a mutual interest in someone. Or something.
Of course. A fruitful and willing collaboration, I'm sure.
Well, I'm his younger brother. I have to accept the consequences of being a close relative of an official figure.
I suppose in a way we are colleagues, Mr. Holmes.
In the remotest way possible, Miss Oni.
자, 이걸 다시 조정하고. 보관소가 어디 있을까? 여기구만. 여기 이 방이 아니야? 개인실인가 보네. 아카이비스트에. 아카이브.
I'll be right here.
자, 화업체. 쓰면은 영국인. 등록 서류는 올드시티. 기든 앤 스위프트 유한회사 1877년 6월 21일부로 등록되었다. 테오도르 기드는 자금 및 로마의 변두리로 알려진 부지를 제공한다. 도방 동반자인 아서 스위프트는 고고학자로서의 자문을 제공한다. 그리고 자금은 둘 다 제공하고 방벽 너머 바자가와 아르나우트가의 교차로 있는 유적에서 고고학 연구를 진행하는 데 있다. 단독 소유자 테오도르는 소유권을 가지는 대신에 자금을 제공한다. 그리고 아서 스위프트는 그 발견의 발행권을 가지는 동시에 유물 소유권과 최초 발견자 권리를 포기한다.
With your love for archives, you would have made the perfect bureaucrat.
코르도나 울드시티의 방벽 너머 바자가와 아르나우트가의 교차로. 올드시티 방벽 너머 바자가와 아르나우트가 요쪽이네. 방벽 너머라고 했으니까. 그러면은 여기로. 올드시티 바자가와 아르나우트가의 교차로. 여기가 아니고 바자가와 아르나우트가 교차로. 여기로 일단 여기부터 찍어야 돼.
From day to night, Aiden stands there, recruiting non-rebellious workers for the dig.
50원을 어떻게 찾을지 알아내십시오. 땅을 깊게 굴착. 내게 돈을 빚졌어. 신형주의. 목의 흉터. 매우 피곤. 시장을 바꾸고 올드시티 시장. 목에 흉터가 있고 친영국주의 일꾼만 찾는다. 여긴데? 여기가 거기인가?
You're being an eyesore. No entry for you.
신발 수성공이야? 서쪽 표 지역의 올드시티 시장에서 여기네. 이거 신경 쓰이네. 이런 걸 그려놨단 말이야. 빵을 굽고 있네. 빵이라고 하긴 좀 그런가? 얼마나 왔나? 아직 더 가야 되네. 여기는 표식이 없네.
The market square, beating heart of the old city.
I wonder if they still sell that heavenly Turkish delight around the corner.
Don't miss out on my unique clothes.
오지비는 어디에 있을까? 가수야? 그 다음은 대화공. 이 사람은 장수 서적상. 목에 흉터가 있고 신영국주의. 저기 서 있는 사람인가? 목에 흉터가 있는 것 같기도 하고, 그래서 목을 만지는 거 아니야? 퍼킨 관리자. 목에 흉터, 불친절한 사람이구만.
Stop blocking the view.
어? 아니야? 변장이라도 해야 되나? 이 사람은 아니지.
Stop blocking the view.
Oriental rugs at a good price.
내가 관계자가 아니라서 그런가? 아, 변장이 필요하구나 이거 보면은. 친영국주의자로
Don't
변장을
miss
해야
out on
되네.
my unique clothes.
아니 사고 싶은데.
Let's pick something that suits you.
일꾼 같아야 되는데. 비싼 옷은 아닐 텐데. 일꾼인가? 대여만 해볼까? 아, 이거 클릭을 하면은 이게 다 표시가 나오네. 증거 전환? 일꾼 목장을 대여해볼까?
Be careful with what you've taken.
Come, come. Decorate your house in Oriental style.
Sir, kind sir,
됐다.
might I steal your attention?
I'm not buying.
Ah, that is the thing. You won't waste a single mangir. I am a digger, you see, and I have heard of a dig site so deep it clogs your ears. I want to be there.
Why are you telling me this?
I have heard of a man recruiting for such a dig. A man with a scar, such as the one that you're hiding. And your boots are dirty with the deep clay I am so
그런
familiar
것까지.
with. Oh, I hope it wasn't too rude of me to point that out.
You have a good eye. And you just want to dig? Dig deep and that's it? What's the catch? Are you in desperate need of money?
Oh, there is no catch, sir. I won't even ask for advance pay. Just give me a shovel and I'll dig a hole like you've never seen.
Huh. Is that so? Well, I have to ask you an important question first. Would you be fine working for Brits?
전혀 없지.
I am all for them.
Well, you say that.
어떻게
but can
증명하지?
you prove it?
국가를
I'll sing you a very special song.
국가를 불렀으면은 뭐
God
끝이지.
save our gracious queen.
Cut it! Or people here will make you their queen.
I can also speak in limericks.
Please don't. You might be a little bit weak in the head, but a natural born digger with a keen eye is what we need. Take this permission slip and go to this address. The guard will let you in.
교수님?
Check with the professor once you're
스위프트인가? 이제 이렇게 뭐 할 수는 없으니까 여기까지만 가야지. 여기서 북동쪽으로.
Stop loitering and get inside.
예. 발굴 현장에 들어왔다.
Newcomer, talk to the professor first. He's the old fellow with the glasses and the plans.
안경 끼고 뭔가 들고 있는 사람이었어.
Where's the fire in your eyes? Where's the smile?
I am sick and tired of seeing apathy among the new workers.
탑을 들려주시면 미소를 볼 수 있을
I
것이야.
want to start work straight away. It's as important to me as it is to you.
Ah, that's the spirit. I'm on the verge of a great discovery.
I am ready to work.
Splendid. Do you know what I am working on?
Archaeological treasure. You're hoping to find something priceless, something that will change our history.
Bravo, young man. I couldn't have
Vitus
said it better myself.
Lemonius의 무덤?
It's true. We're looking for Vitus Lemonius's tomb.
I'll help you. That is my goal as a worker.
화가 욕탕이 아니야?
Listen to me carefully then. I hate repeating myself. I am Professor Swift. We have 3 rules here. Don't touch anything. Always
아무것도 안
return
만지면
the
어떻게 일을
tools,
해?
and don't distract me unless you find something.
Sounds simple enough. Are you the only one in charge here, Mr. Swift?
Yes, I am the only one and no one else. You hear anything other than that, it's a lie. People of your kind can have difficulty understanding who's in charge. Take a minute, memorize my face, and then get to work.
Oh, I will definitely take a closer look to memorize my superior.
관찰. 망가진 안경. 두꺼운 공책. 미온. 더러운 옷. 더 내려갈까? 옆으로 갈까? 팔꿈치에 먹. 오직 경제적인 이유 때문에 고고하게 입문했다. 이쪽이겠지.
I wish I could be as passionate about something as you are, Mr. Swift. You value knowledge and dedication over everything else.
It's a long road, young man. A sharp eye and attention to detail are the only stepping stones along this path. You have to sacrifice everything you love for the larger prize.
Exactly. So much in life is superficial. I wish more people would understand.
I never heard a truer word, lad. Folk will ignore what truly matters in life, and for what? Convenience.
Bold words indeed. I doubt that many scientists would be willing to support their bragging with fieldwork.
The academic world is full of restrictions. Our honorable professors are too afraid to dirty their hands. God forbid if they have a stain on their shirt. You can follow in my footsteps. You can start learning by returning to work. Show me what you can find.
비투스 레모니우스.
Don't touch anything here. Get back to work.
티투스와 비투스 레모니우스는 로마 제국의 건설적인 교황 특사였다. 쌍둥이검을 받았다. 달마티아와 아프리카를 정복했다. 티투스는 에우로스에게, 비투스는 제피로스에게 하늘이 갈릴 만큼 커다란 방패를 들었다. 이게 왜 필요하지?
Straw dolls. Eerie, but effective for a scene recreation.
이런 걸 왜 갖다 놨지?
Oh, I want one of these. Or 2.
Oilcloth. Won't fade and waterproof. Enough here to make 10 sails and more.
저거는 지금 건드릴 수가 없고.
A plan for this whole operation.
티투스 레모니우스의 무덤이 발견됐다. 티투스의 무덤은 발견됐고 비투스의 검이 아니 비투스의 무덤이 아직 발견되지 않은 거야.
This might prove useful. I'll note it down. This reminds me of my father's room.
여기 팠군. 밑에 뭐가 있는데?
Is this familiar to you?
I like you, friend, but I can't help you.
역시 물어보고 다닐 때는 변장도 필요해.
Swift lost his temper when he learned what happened to the statue.
어떤 조각성이 망가졌나? 분명한 책을 꾼. 사자 헬멧 머리 조각상을 찾았다. 해변 근처에 받침대에 놓여 있었는데 누군가 발로 차서 넘어뜨렸다. 그 결과 조각상은 부서졌고 받침대는 기울어졌다. 해변 근처라.
Quite daunting to see how deep the dig is.
저기에 그게 있네. 조각상이 있네. 이게 데피로스일까? 가까이서 보기 어렵네. 여기선 볼 수 없나봐. 너는 또 여기도 조각상이 있는데?
A goddess? A mother?
에우로스였던가?
A sickle for harvesting. The ancient Romans honored the seasons.
방패?
4
개의 조각상이 있었다.
I wonder what the 3 other statues look like.
사자 헬멧과는 관계가 없잖아. 사자 헬멧을 든 채 검을 들고 싸웠다면 이건 티투스. 저쪽은 가기 어렵네. 해변으로 가자.
Working and living by the sea. What a dream.
근데 왜 이렇게 물이 싫어하나 봐. 이게 여기 있네.
Sharpest pickaxe. A guilty pleasure of the real archaeologist. Missing your Laura, Mr. Swift?
Who knew archaeology could be so exciting?
Exciting is certainly a word.
여긴 거기고. 이쪽으로 올라갈 수가 있니? 아니 여기네. 이쪽으로는 못 가나? 못 가는데. 이걸 가지고 말을 걸 수는 없을 것 같은데.
Take a shovel and dig.
Not while he can see me.
뭔가를 발견하는 수밖에 없어. 얘도 근데 다트가 있네. 아까 그 받침대 4개가 있었던 데가 여기네.
Is this familiar to you?
You and I are the economic foundation of this island. We should help each other. But I don't know what you are talking about.
여기서 진짜 아무것도 못 알아내나?
Somehow the text remains legible. Let's see if I remember my Latin.
비투스가 근처에 잠들어 있다. 그의 잠을 방해하는 자는 주의하라. 형제들의 시선과 가을바람으로 보호받고 있다.
I see now. Mr. Swift didn't realize the significance of the statues.
조각상의 무덤의 위치를 알려줄 것 같다. 언덕 위 모습을 재현해봐야겠다. 이건 아니지. 여기 있었겠지. 서쪽을 바라보며 과일 바구니를 들고 있다. 동쪽을 바라보는 것은 고대 바람의 신이다. 이쪽이 동쪽인데? 그렇지. 그 다음에 서쪽을 바라보며 여성 조각상. 서쪽을 바라보며 과일 바구니를 들고 있다. 서쪽이 맞네. 그 둘 사이에는 티투스와 비투스 그리고 비투스는 검과 방패를 모두 들고 있다. 사자 헬멧을 썼을 거야. 방향이 이게 맞을까? 방향을 어떻게 알지? 비투스가 근처에 잠들어 있다. 그의 잠을 방해하는 자는 주의하라. 그는 형제들의 시선과 가을바람으로 보호받고 있다. 가을바람, 에우로스네. 형제들의 시선. 모두 동쪽을 보고 있을 거야, 그러면. 이쪽이고, 그러면은 아침대가 기울어졌다고 했어. 이게 맞아. 여기가 사자 헬멧이야. 하지만 방향은 어느 쪽일까? 동쪽이라고 했는데 형제들의 시선과 가을바람으로 보호받는다.
You're not even trying, Sherry.
틀렸네.
Concentrate.
다시 보자. 서쪽을 바라보며 과일 바구니를 들고 있다. 동쪽을 바라보는 것은 고대 바람의 신이다. 여기가 비투스인 건 맞겠지만은 아마 방향은 이쪽이 아닐까? 됐어.
Seems everything's in place. Now, let's see what this has to tell us.
예전 모습을 재현했으니 그 섬의 위치가 드러난지 확인해봐야겠다. 여기는 없고 아마 저쪽이 보고 있었다고 하면 저쪽일 텐데. 형제들의 시선과 가을바람으로 보호받고 있다. 다시 보자. 형제들의 시선과 가을바람으로 보호받고 있다. 다시 저기로 가야 돼. 가을바람으로 보호받고 있다면 그 등 뒤일까? 에올로스의 등 뒤? 아니면은 지켜보고 있다는 건가? 어떻게 해야 될지 모르겠네. 예전 모습을 재현했다. 이걸 가지고 말을 걸어볼까?
Take a shovel and dig.
아니네.
Did the Romans live in amphoras? I see nothing else here.
이게 아닌가? 저 눈 표시가 뜬 걸 보면은 어딘가에 그 합업한다는 표기 뜰 텐데. 여기네. 왜 여긴지 모르겠지만.
What have you found? Don't let anyone touch anything there. Eureka! I found you, my friend.
뭘 찾은 거야?
Don't just stand there. Help!
일단은 거기를 봐야겠어. 아까 교수의 책상을. 다트가
Box
역시
of darts, handy against rodents of all kinds.
발굴 현장을 두고 다툰 것이 기록되어 있다. 세상 모든 게 네 코끼리 위주로 돌아가지 않아. 상한 욕탕이라니. 곧 공사를 시작하려고 하네. 코끼리에 대해 연구했나봐. 짝짓기 시기를 설명한다.
Hey, what do you think you're doing? Trying to take over my research, are you? I come here to pick up my diary, and I find you snooping around. Explain yourself.
Mr. Swift, if that were true, I would have been on my way to the newspaper. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I didn't have a chance to introduce myself properly.
Outrageous! You deceived me, sir. What is the reason for your being here? Who sent you, Mr. Holmes?
Theodore Gilden's premature death brought me here.
Theodore is dead? How can that be possible?
I'm thinking of all the possibilities, and I'm not crossing out anyone who might have been involved. Even his elephant. The land you're excavating belongs to Mr. Gilden, does it not?
Did I hear an accusation? I have nothing to hide. You can ask me whatever nonsense you've prepared as a token of my diminishing respect towards you.
Very well, Mr. Swift. I appreciate your cooperation. When was the last time you saw Mr. Gilden?
A couple of days ago.
이틀 전.
We discussed the site. I believe in the tomb and its secrets. Theodore's patience was stretched, however. He was already inventing new
발굴은
projects.
때려치고 욕탕이나 짓자 라고
I suppose that his daughter will inherit everything now, along with all of the eccentricities and problems.
And not forgetting Goliath.
Eccentricities and problems, Mr. Holmes. One of many.
Were you at the site this morning?
Affirmative. This project is taking a lot of my time, as you see. I spend more time
증인이 꽤
underground than
많겠는걸?
on the surface.
When did you learn about Theodore's death?
Just now. You just told me.
And you aren't surprised, shocked? I won't tell anyone if you shed a tear or two. Weren't you partners, after all?
We were, and it is a real shame. But I've seen too many deaths in my life, Mr. Holmes, for the news to truly shake me. Will you allow me to return to my research, or are you insisting on remaining an obstacle?
Oh, I haven't even started yet.
증거를 제시하자. 상하와 코.
With this book, you attempted to plan an attack on the elephant?
Your insinuations are out of place. Goliath is a frightening animal. All I wished to do was to understand
여전히 이것 때문에
the creature.
의심스러워.
As any scientist would do, I researched, analyzed, and drew conclusions.
And what conclusion did you draw?
That Theodore Gilden made the animal miserable. He couldn't provide the proper environment for the beast. My interest in the subject ended there.
You have a weakness for nostalgia. Or, rather, do you use it to record a list of enemies?
Young man, you need to check your moral compass. Reading another person's diary is a sin in every culture that I can think of.
But you aren't answering the question.
You've already read it. Why bother? I simply record my life to keep my memory clean from misinterpretation. Letters and pages don't lie.
But the writer of the text can. What's with this box of darts? Is it for a scientific argument?
A little darker than that.
역시 쥐를
Rather for killing the
죽인다
kind
라고 해야
of
돼.
rodents that might nibble a nose or a toe in your sleep.
Let's just say I have to protect myself against a larger animal, such as an elephant. Might it be enough to stop it, make it faint?
If I were you, I wouldn't bank on it.
그런 정도는 아닐 거야.
I'm a busy man.
아니야?
No matter how much Theodore loved it, it still remained a wild animal trapped inside a
페이스로
stone
스킵이 되네.
pen.
이제는 안 됐던 것 같은데.
Needs savannas, fields, lakes.
I'm sure that Goliath did not have a plan to kill his owner to head to the savannas. What do you think?
No, animals don't kill in a typical sense. I can only presume that it tried to protect itself from captivity, from Theodore. It was a gilded cage that was predestined to break.
하지만 이제 와서 그런다고? 짝짓기랑 관련이 있을지 모르겠는데.
Remember one of the rules? It seems that you didn't return a tool. Is this knife yours?
Do I look like a fellow who carries a knife?
필요 없어.
I don't need it.
그럼
There
누굴까?
are plenty of uses for it on the site. And outside of it.
I have other people to cut ropes for me, Mr. Holmes.
설득력이 있군. 그럼 누구지? 이거.
Did this plan cause a rift in your business relationship with Theodore Gilden?
Nothing like that. Admittedly, we didn't share a common vision of what is more important, the past or the future. In my opinion, we can't build a future without knowing the past.
So you wanted to save the tomb of Vitus here, or perhaps your control over the research?
Only the knowledge that rightly belongs to humankind, nothing less and nothing more. Moving on. Moving on.
사람의 비명처럼 들리는 끔찍한 울음소리. 땀?
I'm a busy man. Moving on. I'm a busy man. Moving on.
What's with this intricate recruitment process? Pro-British workers charge less?
As a head of this organization, I need to secure a productive
야, 그렇지.
environment. It's impossible to do so if there are political differences, especially here, where the native population doesn't support our efforts to find the ancient artifacts.
Decent pay can also stimulate productivity and shut down any political discord. Hadn't you thought of that?
You're young. You have time to fritter and fight with everyone you meet. I don't have such a luxury. Our workers receive enough pay for what they do. So don't start a discussion you know nothing about. Moving on.
As far as I can tell, you're a man of the
이것도 물어볼
academic
수 있네.
world, so this book about
나머지 한 권은 어디
Maeve and
있을까?
Laura is just an empirical study?
What? That nonsense? I'd prefer to lose my eyesight than read
그런 데
such
있다고 여기에?
So you know nothing about it?
I know
나머지 한 권을 찾으면은 뭔가 알아낼 수 있는 건가?
Do I hear traces of envy? You're still relatively young that you might find your own Laura.
이 교수도 범인이 아니라면 또 누구를? 네이브. 아, 얘는 등장인물이잖아.
You happy now? Wonderful.
아직도 물어볼 게 남아있는데.
Moving on. I've nothing to add.
Your partner had a very specific attitude towards the things he treasured. Was this habitual for him?
That would have been too much even for him. Don't get me wrong, he had a harsh temper. Like a true businessman, he was ready to burn his competitors to the ground.
But threatening someone physically would have been something new even for him, am I correct?
Absolutely. Besides, I had never seen him this
보통은 이렇게 화나지
The fellow who
않는다.
received the letter must have been extremely alarmed.
Have you seen this person before? The one beside Imogen Gilden?
No, but he's with Imogen, so I
본 적이
suppose that
없다.
he's a friend of hers. That girl always has her head in the clouds. I could have said Theodore was different, but that wouldn't have been entirely true.
Away with the fairies, was he?
That's one way of putting it. Either way, I don't know much about Imogen's life or her friends. The type of elite
이
that
사건은
pretends to
끝내고
be educated.
방송을 종료하고 싶은데. 힘든 시기, 짝짓기 시기. 모두 골리앗을 탓한다. 뭐 할 건 있나? 가서와 폴 모두 바트를 소유하고 있다. 이거는 잘 모르겠는데. 일단은 골리앗을 찾아야 돼. 그거부터 생각하자. 과학 분석. 자, 3-3. 이제야 좀 어려운 그게 나왔구나. 간단하게 일단 이걸부터 해놓을까? -3은 갖고 있지 않아. 이거랑 이거를 합치면은 이쪽에다 갖다 놔야 되나? 이게 연결이 안 돼? 같은 거라서 그런가? 아, 이거를 화학작용을 해야지. 연결해야지. 그리고 똑같이 화학작용해서 이거랑 이거를 연결해야 돼. 그리고 이것과 이것이 연결이 되지. 액체에서 페로몬을 추출했다. 인형을 만드는데 사용하는 천을 봤다. 백고동은 그리고 향수. 코끼리 인형을 만들려고? 그러면은 코끼리를 잠재울 뭔가가 필요하지 않을까?
This fabric will work.
천을 신겼어. 가스를 채운다. 그리고 선박 작업장에 가서 백고동을 가져와야 돼. 여기 있었던가? 여긴 아니야. 창고야.
It might fool an elephant.
Mrs. Nini seemed to know her sewing inside out. I bet she missed us.
I hope Miss Nini won't misunderstand me.
니니한테 가야 되는구나. 여기 이문이 아니야. 나이츠가 와. 보자. 나이츠가와 트리니티 웨이. 나이츠가와 트리니티 웨이 이쪽이야. 여기지. 아, 여기 있네.
Good day, madam. I've come to you with a special requirement. The tailors on the street can't help me, I'm afraid.
이런 옷을 부탁해도
doll,
문제 없겠지?
Oh, Signor
어허,
Holmes.
도둑이
You
잡았구나.
taught the police how to do their job, and they found the thief. Of course I will help you. But what sort of doll? A child's doll, such as
아니요.
my great niece might play with?
A little
코끼리요,
larger than
코끼리.
your typical doll.
Signore, I don't understand. Boy, girl, animal, and what color?
Animal, passionate, perhaps.
헐, 펄이.
Amorous animal.
Ah, signore, you talk in riddles. I am an old lady who's seen it all. Tell me what you need.
I need a life-size elephant.
I think Mrs. Nini outdid herself with this one. Is that a tail?
That's a trunk, John, but I must agree with you that it's her masterpiece.
Well, let's not waste any time.
그러면은 다음으로 가야 할 곳은 여기지. 이쪽일 거야, 아마도. 필요한 것이 가스를 채워야 되는구나. 여기가 아니야.
game is on.
So, what's the plan? I hope it all doesn't go horribly wrong.
We know that the elephant is seeking a female. We can arrange that. A doll with the appropriate scent might do miracles.
So you're a marriage broker. Well, I suppose that makes me a groomsman. You forgot about your new friends, Sherlock. Nabe and Laura.
어디 있지?
You won't reunite the trilogy.
Oh, are you enjoying torturing me? Those are your friends, John. I have a case to solve.
Well, it's up to you. But I think you'll regret it. Oh, she is a bit breezy, I must say.
Well, Goliath is eager for a single female elephant in his area. It should be just enough for his taste. You'll need to trust me.
Are we ready? I can't stand the tension.
We're ready. Let's call the elephant.
유혹하는 소리.
How could anyone resist? I knew a lady once who said just that. Too bad I'm not an elephant. Take your time, Sherry. That deserves a slap. And then a kiss.
And here's our lovesick friend.
마취총은 준비해왔나? 그냥 순정적으로 데려가네.
What is the meaning of this? Why are you bringing it here?
아니 여기 아니면 어디다 둬?
I assure you that it is only a temporary measure. It won't be long until the elephant is gone, I promise you.
그보다도 그러면은 그걸 마저 찾고 가자. 그거 책을 마저 찾고 가야 돼. 책이 어디 있지? 책을 어디서 찾아? 보자. 보자. everyone. 트로피 가이드를 보자. 두 번째는 스토리지룸. 폴퍼크에 거기에 있네. 일단 거기부터 가봐야겠다. 다시 여기로 와야 돼. 창고 안에 있다고 했어. 창고가 맞겠지? 버크가 있는 방은 아니겠지? 여기.
Sales of hatred. I suppose there is something for everyone, including champions.
Hey, a word about the trilogy.
Right then, you literary expert.
이게
You,
왜
what was so important
중요했을까?
about these books, or did you simply need some kindling?
It's inspirational. I have a plan. Are you listening?
I wish I wasn't, but I am.
So, we catch a monkey, a langur, for example, then we extract some blood from it.
What? Why?
It will make us forever young,
What?
Cherry. Page 127 of the second book.
Oh, come on.
No, wait. Then how about we make a wax statue?
I've stopped listening, John.
네. 그 옷을 바꿀 수 있나 이제? 다시 원래대로 입을까? 다른 것도 있네. 아이스크림맨. 이게 뭐야? 아무튼 간에 수사를 계속해야지. 벌써 밤이 됐네. 그 사이에. 안녕? 내 옷을 좀 볼래?
May I ask you something?
I'm sorry, sir. I know nothing about that.
자, 사건 집에서 이거를 꿰는데 성공했다. 이거를 조정해 볼까? 이건 안 돼. 이렇게 나오네. 흔적이 소리 향한 나가니. 보자, 살펴보자. 어떻게 생각해, 존?
Want to talk about the elephant in the yard?
왜 거실에 있지 않는 거지? 상처를 입었어.
It injured itself while running through the forest.
눈이
Peaceful and compliant, almost.
멀쩡한 건가? 이건 뭐야? 이 빨간 건? 다트. 누군가 다트를 사용했어.
In the needle. A feathered fletching. This might be promising.
나머지 하나는
The left tusk is larger and more worn. You're a left-tusked elephant.
누군가가 다트를 쐈어. 이게 무슨 의미일까? 과학 분석. 더하기 말고 이게 무슨 작용일까? 좋은 말 해볼까? 이거는 여기 있네. 양의 값에서 음의 값 혹은 음의 값에서 양의 값을 바꾼다. 이거를 음의 값으로 바꾸는 거야. 그러면 마이너스 4가 되지. 그리고 3 이거를 합쳐. 트트리크닌의 흔적을 찾았다. 환하게 만들었다. 과연 아서와 폴 모두 다트를 사용하고 있어. 신혼 미상의 제3자가 이걸 한 거야. 이거는 X자가 된다. 폴이 혈관에 부딪혔을 수도 있다. 꼬리일까? 아서일까? 아직 뭔가 더 있나? 끈이로는 왜 이게 더 나왔지? 다시 깃털이 있다고 했지. 기억의 궁전이 아직 남아있나? 다트에는 그거 있으니까 깃털이 있었다고 했으니까 확인을 해봐야겠어. 여기로 바로 갈 수 있으면 좋을 텐데. 못 들어가나? 못 바꿔가지고. 이 방향이 아니잖아. 둘의 다트에 차이점이 있다면은 그걸로 범인을 특정할 수 있을 거야. 이쪽 방향이 맞군.
Stop shirking. Get dressed properly and come inside.
됐지?
Stop, Lloyd.
안 보이는데? 이걸로 이야기해볼까?
I forgot I left some stones unturned. I have to leave.
왜 확인을 못하는 거야? 이거를 좀 볼 수 있으면 좋겠는데. 코끼리를 연구하는 거는 역시 아서야. 결국엔 아서를 지목하는 게 맞겠어. 죽음.
You are guilty, Mr. Swift. Killing Theodore Gilden was a testing challenge. You succeeded.
What makes you think I'm somehow involved in Gilden's death? My partner's death, I might remind you.
Your dart uses strychnine to kill rodents at the site, is that correct?
Well, yes, that is its purpose.
The same dart with strychnine was found on Goliath. The very same substance is a powerful stimulant. It causes convulsions, a flow of energy. You shot Goliath. The elephant became extremely energetic, agitated, and so terrified that it killed its owner. For a man of your age, it was easier to hit a larger grey target than a small man.
You said it yourself. Goliath killed Theodore, and your strychnine speculations are absurd. Only athletes use it as a stimulant, not elephants.
True, but one dart of strychnine would not be enough to kill the elephant, and you knew it. You were there when Theodore Gilden died.
Nonsense. I visited him many times, but I wasn't there when the elephant killed him.
Then I must have made a mistake, because the murderer met Goliath's rage personally. The perpetrator was hit by the gate and thrown into the shed. Your bruise matches the contour of the broken hole. One further detail is that the murderer had a bosun's knife, fairly useful in a place where one might cut ropes and fabric, such as, I don't know, the dig site?
That's your interpretation of the facts, Mr. Holmes. You've simply aligned them to suit your
제법
hypothesis.
방어를
It's not a
하는군.
hypothesis once proven, it's theory, Mr. Swift. Let me tell you a story. A man spends almost 5 years of his life locating an artifact. He puts every ounce of energy and money into his research. The same man even goes so far as to sign a contract with a ruthless man, a businessman. It was a risk, but the reward would be worth it. Years go by and there's still no result, so the businessman decides to end the man's research. He spits on the research, he promises to bury the site under an eccentric project. All of this is just his whim. Theodore Gilden could do anything he wanted with this place, and you were anxious about the fate of your research. You wished to protect it. You tried to tame Gilden's eccentricity, but you killed him instead.
Theodore wasn't trying to sabotage my career. We had a disagreement, but it wasn't as dire as you describe it. He wasn't a pleasure to talk to, but killing him? Nonsense.
Theodore Gilden was a capricious man, extremely impulsive. But the cold-blooded nature of your plan makes you even more dangerous. You feel nothing. You show no remorse. It was simply a calculated move. And that is why you are under arrest.
Nothing. You have nothing on me.
I think I'll let the police decide if my findings are substantial
잘못
enough for
골랐나?
prosecution.
This is all a dreadful mistake. This can't be happening. The elephant killed Theodore.
Goliath is innocent and he should be free. He is not the real murderer here. That is the apex of your career, Mr. Swift. Farewell.
I told you Mr. Swift was not a real archaeologist. He was a murderer. I knew there was something wrong with him.
Fortunately for us, being a murderer was not his profession. And about the elephant.
While you were busy, I've dealt with it. No thanks to you. I asked you to solve this wretched problem, but you didn't.
I couldn't be in two places at once, Miss Gilden. I was catching your father's murderer. But how have you dealt with it?
A man agreed to take the elephant away. He came to me asking for permission to relocate it to his property, and I accepted.
누구지?
Well, congratulations, I suppose. That is one less problem.
Actually, two, Mr. Holmes. I found my father's possessions that you can take with you and disappear.
I appreciate it, truly.
Well, someone has to do something. Take everything if you need to, and leave me be.
Take care of yourself, Miss Gilden.
그나저나 그래서 내가 제대로 잡은 게 맞지? 확인해봐야겠네. 이거는 왜 범인이 누군지 안 나와주네. 진짜 범인이. 누가 범인인지에 대해서 의견이 분분하네. 팀 가이드를 볼까? 누가 범인이야? 나는 결정했다. 자, 바이올렛이 테오도르에게 보내는 편지. 저는 맹인도 아니고 위선자도 아니에요. 당신의 저를 향한 당신의 감정이 깊어졌다는 걸 알아요. 거절했구나. 제 양심으로는 목걸이 돌려줄게요. 상처 입을 걸 알아요. 제 마음은 시거에게 있어요. 이거는 꽤 오래전이네. 결혼하기 전이구나.
My mother always wore this around her neck until one day it disappeared. I was wondering where it went. She said it was a birthday present from a good friend.
돌려준 건 결혼한 이후네. 하지만 별 도움이 되는 내용은 아니잖아, 그러면. 뭔가 기억이 났네, 그래도. 열쇠. 리터? 그 의사?
I just had another glimpse of a memory, John. It's fuzzy, but I'm sure it happens somewhere in the manor.
Finally moving forward. Shall we go?
좋아요. 역시 누가 범인인지에 대해서는 의견이 그렇게 딱 맞지 않는데, 코끼리에 대해 연구한 거는 폴이 아니라 아서였으니까 저는 아서가 범인이 맞다고 봅니다. 그러면 오늘 방송은 여기까지.